This is an action-packed month for you as an Aries rising. I mean, there's just such an emphasis on new routine and that leading to a lot of new career and networking dynamics in your life. If you are excited to dive into what the astrology, what the tarot, and what the oracle cards have to say about you and your rising sign for this month, make sure that you do like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. Hi, I'm Maren. I am a professional astrologer, current philosophy student, and which proudly out of the broom closet, I combine traditional Hellenistic astrological techniques with modern psychological counseling dynamics in order to provide grounded spiritual guidance. Before we get into the forecast, quick plug for my upcoming Astrology Academy 6 to 8 week course. This is the only time that this course will be led live by me, taking you step by step from zero to hero, from not understanding astrology or being overwhelmed and confused to having a basis for the rationale, for the history, for the application of astrology in your day-to-day life in whatever way you are called to learn it. So this is the only time I will ever be doing this live before I record it to repurpose. So make sure that you apply down below if you're interested. We would love to have you join and see if you are the right fit for this amazing life-changing course. So we start out on the 1st with Mercury conjoining Uranus in Taurus in your second house. Boom, that is a bang. Probably a bang of you getting information about something financial. You might have some money coming your way unexpectedly or in a way that is not planned for nearing the beginning of the month. And then also on the 1st, Venus in Gemini is going to score Neptune in Pisces. So this will be a month-long dynamic here. Be careful about a writing project or a communication project that causes you to lean towards self-destructive habits like overworking, like inebriation, anything that you depend on that might be a crutch in terms of putting creative output. Just be wary of that nearing the beginning of the month. It might seem too good to be true. On the 4th, there's then that Sun-Mercury Cazimi in Taurus following the Mercury-Uranus conjunction. So there'll be more illumination of the financial dynamic that you're entering the month with. There'll be emphasis in the beginning of the month on this financial, probably gift or unexpected dynamic. And then right on the 7th, there is a full moon in your Scorpio 8th house, a culmination from the past 6 months regarding shared finances in your life. So if you're now ending a chapter of like a marriage, joint bank account, or if you are filing your taxes around now, like this will be a culmination, a time of release around that. There's a full video on this full moon linked down below. It's definitely a cute but psycho full moon, maybe not as cute as it is psycho, so I recommend watching that after this video, linked down below. Nearing the middle of the month, we have a series of Mercury aspects, starting out with Mercury in Taurus trining Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn, so you're able to communicate about money based on some career opportunities that are requiring you to transform. And then when Mercury squares Mars in Aquarius, this might be met with some aggression or some challenge coming from your networking world. You have this career opportunity that's requiring you to step up, and you might be getting some backlash or some issues with friends because of what you're stepping into and optimistically embodying in your public image. Then, on the 11th, Saturn in Aquarius will station retrograde. So Saturn recently entered your Aquarius 11th house, focusing on challenges and limitations around friends and groups or organizations in your life. It's going to station retrograde and go back into Capricorn. So there'll be a revisiting of all the work that you've done, the challenges you faced around career, so that now you have a taste of what's to come, but there's a revisiting of what still needs to be finalized in your career world. On the 12th, continuing on with this Mercury saga, Mercury will enter Gemini in your 3rd house and trine Saturn in Aquarius. So there's then a resolution on the 12th of some of the friction that you had with friends or groups. There's now a balance struck or an interior cerebral, like you've crossed the bridge and now you're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is the game plan. I know it's kind of shitty and there's things that we need to get over as friends or groups, but we're willing to set our mind to it and have a conversation around this. Then on the 12th, Mars will enter your Pisces 12th house, so be wary about any like aggression towards yourself. There's some emphasis on self-destructive habits, not a huge amount, but I'm being honest, like just be wary about being too hard on yourself around what you know isn't in your best interest, and that leading you into this cycle of returning to coping mechanisms that can be released, and instead using this as a transit to go within and really look at what can be unwoven around these habits instead of blaming yourself in this cycle cycle repeating over and over. On the 13th, Venus in Gemini will then station retrograde in your 3rd house, so you might be working on a communication or a writing project, and you're now going to be rethinking that, or you might be going on with something with your siblings, and you're now rethinking that dynamic. There's some sort of, there might be a feminine figure like a sister that you're having some sort of dynamic with that has to be revisited for the next few weeks. Then on the 14th, Jupiter in Capricorn stations retrograde, so there will be a revisiting of all the things that you've abundantly attracted or enhanced in your career. There'll now be like a rethinking or a reversal or like a revision of some of those career-based growth. On the 14th as well, the Sun in Taurus trines Pluto and Jupiter in Capricorn. So some of the developments around money are really being emphasized nearing the end of the month as being allowed for due to the career steps that you're making. Like you're getting money because of the work that you're putting into your work, frankly. And nearing the end of the month, on the 21st, the Sun will then enter Gemini and trine Saturn in Aquarius. So it's illuminating the writing project that you're working on, that nearing the end of the month, you're actually ingraining that into committing. You're committing to this writing project because of groups or support from friends and whatnot. On the 22nd, Mercury will then conjoin Venus in Gemini and square Neptune in Pisces, which further continues on this dynamic of a writing project that you're working on, feeling really good, but maybe calling upon some of the issues that you have around working too much or depending on ways of withdrawing or dissociating as a means to get your work done. And then the month ends with the new moon in Gemini in your 3rd house. So a lot of emphasis on this communication or writing project that you have birthing around the beginning of the month. There's a full video on this new moon linked down below for you to understand how specifically this is this is definitely a psycho new moon of a lot going on in your 3rd house of communication, short-term travel, and siblings to have an even further new beginning nearing the end of the month. So if this all rings true or if this doesn't resonate and you have stories around it, let me know down below in the comments how you're feeling about this as an Aries rising for this month. Otherwise, we're going to pull a tarot card to see what tarot card comes up for Aries risings. We have the Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands is initiation of passion and ideas. So this goes hand in hand with the 3rd house activity of you enacting your truth. You're writing something maybe during this quarantine time. If I'm filming this, you know, before May, but who knows where you're living, if you're still in isolation. Yeah, lots is up in the air day by day. So whatever situation you're in, there's a lot of time for a passion project that you're really committing to and pursuing. Now we're going to pull if I can get this card in, we're going to pull a Witch's Wisdom Oracle deck card. It's my new deck that I got in Sedona last month. Super excited to pull this out. We're gonna pull a card. We have Wand. Intention. We got the King of Wands, the Knight of Wands, Wand Intention. Let's see what message comes up for Wand Intention for Aries rising. I won't read the whole thing, just a little prayer. A wand's no use to them or thee if the witch can't really see. Intention sets the outcome true, power enhanced will come to you. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be there it is done. Can you harness your precise intentions to create for something worthwhile and sustainable this month? Can you really use your mind as that creative wand to enact something that supports you and your goals and is sustainable this month as an Aries rising? If you did enjoy this and you would like to check out my private astrology readings down below, I would love to read for you one-on-one. Otherwise, check out the Astrology Academy. If you are called, I bet you are one of the people that would make a great fit for this intensive. Only time I will ever be doing this with me weekly in a Zoom call, Facebook group, whole thing, changing your life by learning the language of the cosmos. So otherwise, make sure that you like, subscribe. Let me know down below any thoughts, any stories, any comments you want to leave me about this month for you, how you're feeling about this. Otherwise, you know, sending so much love. Stay safe right now. See you in the next one.
But there is one thing you're all